guys, so today I'm reviewing a really fun video, and that is Booktube Newbie Tag. I'm still like fairly new, so I thought I would do this video because it's like a classic video everyone has to do when they join Booktube. So yeah, if you see me looking like over there, it's because I have the questions up on my laptop. I'm not sure who created this challenge. If I find out who did it, I will put their like account down below, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm really sorry. Anyway, let's just get started. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? And my answer to that is because I've always loved like making videos. I was like younger, I used to have one of those like Instagram accounts where you posted about like lip balms and like hand sanitizers and stuff. It sounds really weird, but if you were there, you were there. I've always loved making videos about like things I love and my hobbies and my interests, and reading is like one of my biggest hobbies and interests. So I wanted to just have someone to share my love for reading and talk about books that I like. So that is why I made this channel, because I just like making videos, and I've always wanted to make a YouTube channel. I've just kind of never been sure what to make it about, and I've always been like too scared, but I feel like now is like finally the time. The next question is, what are some fun, unique things you can bring to Booktube? To be honest, I'm not really too sure about this one. I guess I feel like I've noticed a lot of my favorite booktubers who used to read a lot of like YA fantasy especially, I feel like recently I've noticed they've kind of been, as they've been growing up, they've kind of been changing genres, which is obviously completely fine. That is what happens when you grow up. However, I don't know, I feel like there's kind of a lack of booktubers who read primarily YA fantasy now, and that is the genre I read the most. I guess maybe that, but even then I feel like there still is obviously a lot of booktubers who read YA fantasy. But anyway, I feel like regardless, I just wanted to bring my recommendations, my favorite books, and share them with the internet, I guess. The next question is, what are you most excited about for this new channel? And for that, I'll have to say just sharing my love for reading and books with people, because none of my friends or like my close friends really read, or if they do read, they don't read like the same books as me, so I don't really have anyone to talk about them with. So now hopefully I can just talk to you guys about them, which should be really fun. The next question is, why do you love reading? And to that, I just have to say, like, escapism. I just love escapism to like help me deal with everything, because the real world, it really sucks. And when I read, I'm one of the people who can like visualize a movie. I like just feel like I'm part of the world, and I feel like I am like the characters, and there's like no better form of escapism than reading. And it's just like, there's nothing better than getting attached to like a world and like the characters. I love everything, to be honest. The next question is, what book or series got you into reading? And I've kind of always been like a huge reader. Like, I've read like for longer than I remember, so I don't really remember like which one got me into reading. I remember when I was younger, my parents used to read me like Dr. Seuss, is that how you say it? Like The Cat in the Hat, those, you know, that over those books. And I also used to really love the Rainbow Magic Fairies books, which is quite ironic, I feel like, considering now I read fairy smut, so. The next question is, what questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? And I guess I would just ask them for like their favourite books probably, or like I guess advice for like starting a channel. So you're wondering like who some of my favourite booktubers are, I feel like my ultimate favourite ones are Katie is Reading and Cassandra Lynn. I love both of their videos so much. Like every Monday I just look forward for their reading vlogs. And some other ones I like are like Mel Reads and Fern Pages, I really enjoy. Also like obviously like Hayley Pham and Sarah Caroli and Destiny Sidwell. I love all their videos as well. Those are just some of my favourites. I watch a lot of booktubers. The next question is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be hardest to overcome? And I guess I think like consistently uploading probably, especially when I get like busier in the summer when I'm doing my mocks, and next year when I'm doing my A-levels. And also I guess just like I feel like I'm quite awkward still in front of the camera, So I guess just getting like used to it. Obviously it's not about like views and subscribers and stuff. I feel like just getting your videos out there when you're starting out is quite hard. And I just wanted people to talk about books with. The next question is, when did you start reading? I kind of like talked a bit about this before, but like I've always been a reader. My parents are big readers. My mum, she used to be a journalist. Her favourite subject was always English in school. And my dad, he's also always been like a big reader. Like he always reads like the classic dad books, like, you know, there's like Terry Pratchett, just those kind of books. So they always really like raised me with books and reading, and for as long as I can remember, like when I was younger, they used to read me like bedtime stories and stuff, and they always like used to like take me to like bookstores and the library and stuff, and always really encouraged me to read, which I really appreciate. I did actually stop reading for like a couple years. Like when I first became like a teenager, I feel like I did what all teenagers do, and I was like, I'm too cool to read. However, even when I was like not reading actual physical books, I was still reading like Wattpads. It had to happen. Everyone goes through that era in their lives, and when I was 13 to 15, and that was my time for the Wattpad era. And then like late 2021, so like a year and a half ago now, I like rediscovered my love for reading actual books. But to be honest, that was probably only because I'd read every single book on the Wattpad app, so yeah. The next question is, where do you read? And to that I'm gonna have to stay in my bed. I don't read like anywhere else. Occasionally I read on the train when I'm going to college, but yeah, I mostly just read in my bed because I still live at home. I'm 17 and I don't like reading like anywhere other than my room, and my room's like fairly small and there's nowhere to sit other than my bed or my floor, and I'm not going to sit on my floor. So because of that, my bed is where I spend all my time reading. The next question is, what kind of books do you like to read? I've already said, but like YA fantasy is the genre I read most. I do read kind of a bit of everything. I read the occasional like romance, thriller, contemporary, those types of books. However, I would say I just mostly stick to fantasy, particularly YA fantasy. And the last question is, what does your book collection look like? I will show you, but it's a bit of a mess right now. My big shelf, I recently was using one of the shelves on it for storage for other things. However, I was running out of shelf space for my books, so I moved the stuff that was on the bottom shelf for storage. However, because of that, now my shelf is looking a bit patchy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not full, but it will be. Just give me like a couple months and it'll be full again. Also, there are some books that are like out of my shelves because I'm using them for like filming. Like, I'll show you my tripod right now actually. So this is my tripod. I have the book stack from my TBR video I filmed like 2 days ago, and then I have my Pride of the Orange Tree broken binding set that I'm saving to unbox in a book unboxing. Like, here I have like my current reads. Ignore the mini egg chocolate and ignore my wall, that is from a candle. I also have books here, so these are all unread. This is like my TBR pile because I don't like keeping my TBR on my shelf, so this is like an overview of them. And then I also have like books here just like on the floor that I'm going to be using for a video. And then over here I have this stack of books. I also usually have like Babel on this stack, but it's currently out. Over here I have Frankenstein, just randomly, Cloth Bound Classic. But then this is my actual shelves. I'll just do a quick overview of both of them. Yeah, so here we have Cassandra Clare and then Throne of Glass. These are like my thick YA fantasy series. I do also usually have Clockwork Angel here and Kingdom of Ash up there. And then these are like other YA fantasy series just all along here. And then this shelf is like YA fantasy where I only have like one of the books in it, or just like my Chloe Gong books are here because hardbacks don't fit on that shelf. And then here we have like adult fantasy and also V.E. Schwab. Some of my V.E. Schwab books are YA, but for the most part this is all adult fantasy. And then here we have like more adult fantasy. Again, obviously ACOTAR is usually here. And then at the bottom we have my dystopian and like sci-fi, and we also have Percy Jackson because I don't like those covers, so I hide them at the bottom. I also have like books hidden, like old books hidden behind Addie LaRue. This is like a mix of genres, so it's like mostly romance, but there's some like contemporary, and like the Song of Achilles is just randomly there. And then this is my Holly Black shrine with Sirius Black for some reason. And then here I usually have the Final Strife in that little gap, but these are just like some special editions I have. Again, I have some like old books behind We Free the Stars, and this is like my sprayed edges shelf. Again, I have books missing. It is usually full, but I have books out right now. And then this is like my mystery thriller shelf. That's just like a really quick overview of my book collection. If you guys want me to do an in-depth bookshelf tour, I totally will. It's kind of hard to film in there because my guinea pigs are in there and they make a lot of noise. Anyway, that's the end of this book tag. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you'll like maybe subscribe and stick around. So yeah, bye guys.